Alright, so I'm just going to do a quick video just to demonstrate the support here I have for the body. Just made it out of PVC tubing, 1-inch tubing, and again this top portion is removable, obviously, just so I can get it the body on and off of it, and just have it temporarily taped, this top portion, to the rest of the frame. And you'll see that when you give it an attempt to basically roll this over to the top upside down, and we'll see how this works out. So I have these extra supports on all four corners. As the body gets flipped upside down, it'll be kind of resting on those areas, and the fiberglass in those areas is nice and thick, so it should be able to support it really well. And there's also, in addition to those four spots, these two longer tubes underneath are also going to support it, so it actually gets quite a bit of support. And I just put a quick strap around it so it doesn't flex when it's upside down. So we'll give it a shot and see what it looks like. And that's all there is to it. As you saw, I put these 1/2-inch PVC on the outside, just attached from the top and the bottom, just to give it a nice place to roll without rolling on the body itself. But you can see it sits nicely upside down. Can work on sanding the undersides a little bit easier. Also, doing the headliner will be really easy to work on the headliner and anything else I need to get to that was difficult working from underneath. So that's it. Alright, so just wanted to give you a little bit of an update. Got quite a bit of sanding done, so it might be a little bit difficult to see now, but it's no longer the shiny red, it's kind of more this dull pink color, just because I've sanded it just roughly to begin with. I'm going to put some fairing compound in a couple places just to get the body straight where some of the damage had been done, and then after that we'll do some Bondo on the seams and get it all nice and smooth and seal it and prime it, and then I'll probably put the body on the chassis and paint it while it's on there, just so I won't be messing with the paint, getting the body on and off. I did do a couple other things. I did carbon fiber for the headliner. You can see that little area in the middle there. I just put some insulation, some reflective heat shield where the tunnel is on the roof scoop, hopefully just to keep some of that heat out of the cabin while it's just idling, sitting there. So and it adds a little bit of texture to the headliner. It's a little bit dull looking now just because I haven't clear coated it yet, but it'll be all nice and shiny and nice carbon fiber. Let's see if I can get you a better look. The Factory 5 manual says to obviously put the headliner in, but you can kind of see it there. So it'll look nice. There is a seam along the whole entire edge, just because I used one sheet of carbon fiber for the headliner area, and then some carbon fiber tape going up the A-pillars, and there'll also be some around the rear windows, because that will be exposed. They say to paint it black, but I'm just going to do the carbon fiber. It'll look nice, and it's pretty much black anyway. And as far as the seams are concerned, that's where the roll bar is going to be, so you won't even see that. So should look nice when it's all complete. I also did do some reinforcement with some carbon fiber along those areas I said were getting damaged, putting the body on and off, right where the door openings are. And I also did a little bit of reinforcement there where the hood hinges are going to be. So I think that there will be a lot of stress in those locations. And then, I don't know if you'll be able to see, along the whole front area, which is where the body attaches. So I put some reinforcement there. And I'm also doing a little bit of modification, just adding some fiberglass filler in a couple areas where this box is going to be sitting. This is where the wiper the wiper mechanism is going to be, and that is closed off. When I originally had it on, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but where I added this fiberglass filler, you put on a piece of rubber seal, bulb seal there to close it off, but there's such a large gap there that it wasn't even touching the body, so there was some space there. So I did add some filler, and I think that's going to take care of the situation. I'll add a little bit more, but once that bulb seal is on and this is sitting up a little bit, you'll get a nice seal all the way around that, so I think that'll be a lot better. And I did do the gold foil again on this piece right next to the cold air intake, again keeping it away from the exhaust. And I did add a piece of gold foil, and I'll be able to, if you'll be able to see, on the other side is too, just as reflecting that heat from that exhaust. So hopefully it'll keep that a little bit cooler. I just have to finish the other side, and then we'll be good to go with that. I haven't been doing too much else with the car itself, just doing some repair of the fabric on the roll bar where it was coming up. I've been using that contact cement instead of the spray adhesive, and it's been working really well. I did it as a test, just right along here. This was coming up, and now this is really stuck down. This is great here, so I did it to the rest of the fabric on the roll bar. I also did it there where the vinyl was coming up here, and that's now sticking nicely down, so that's not going to be an issue. So the contact cement works really well, and I'm pleased with that. And everything else looks to be, I'm doing just some minor adjustments to the gauge panel here. Some of these dials, they need a little reference hole where they'll stay straight. So I'm just putting those in without drilling all the way through it, because that would be bad. And again, just doing some more body work. This is the hood. I've been getting, it was pretty rough to begin with, so I've been doing a lot of sanding. I took out a couple areas where there were some large air bubbles, so I'll just get those filled in. So there was just a couple places where I just didn't like those large air bubbles, but so I've been getting that, sanding it. Also these edges, I still have a little bit more to do here. Probably put some more fiberglass filler in a couple low spots there. Also these vents here, just to kind of, at least on the inside here where the hood kind of continues in a little bit, there was a big gap in there, so I wanted to fill that in. It needs a little bit more to make it smooth and continuous with the hood. I've been opening up these gaps and these vents to be pretty uniform. These vents, in a couple places, the the fiberglass is a little bit thin and it kind of broke away a little bit, so I do have to do a little bit of repair there, but that's not a big deal. Same thing on this side. You just have to fill it in a little bit there. So once I get those areas repaired, then I'll probably go ahead and, again, like I said, put the Bondo on all of these seams and get those even. The seams kind of run all the way down here and then all the way across the front. And that'll be the next step, and that'll probably be the next video. So the next one you see, hopefully I'll have those seams sealed up and it'll kind of look nice and smooth. So there's quite a bit of body work that needs to be done. It's not a quick process, that's for sure. And the nice thing about having it upside down like this and able to work on it is there are areas where it was really kind of difficult to see when it's upright. But again, this is kind of the underneath part of where the tail lights go, and the gel coat in this area is just completely gone, and I didn't even notice that when it was sitting upright. So when I started sanding, the gel coat just came straight out and there's a big air bubble there. So it helps to kind of see these areas that I need to do a little bit of repair. And there's a lot of pitting here on the underside where the license plate goes to. So it's going to make it a lot easier to work on this, do some of this body work while it's upside down. And the same thing here on the doors, right along some of these edges. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there is some, once I did just some light sanding, there's some pitting, and then there's some really large gaps in the gel coat. So right along those edges, I do need to do a little bit of filling and repairing those. I also have to do, and again, I'm closing in these door handles. So they're going to be shaved door handles. So I just have to fill those in, and then fill in a couple of these holes, obviously, where I had the side mirrors, and had to adjust them a couple times. Had them wrong at the first time, and then kind of figured out really where I wanted them and had to drill some extra holes. So I'll fill in the ones that I'm not going to need. You won't see them anyway because the whole thing takes up the whole area, but just for my peace of mind and for completeness sake, I'm going to fill in those holes.